All right, this is Ed Weens. We're in our weekly team Zoom campfire chat that we have on Sunday nights, but it's a special call tonight because we have one of our own family members has reached a pinnacle in this business that's just obviously very rare. I think I put in my comments on Facebook, the higher you get up a mountaintop toward the summit, it's less populated. And when you think back on the 12-year history of this company, there'll be more, but so far there's only been three associates who've been able to push through the rank of the ambassador ranks. It's beyond the diamond ranks. There's diamond, double diamond, triple diamond, and then there's ambassador diamond and ambassador double diamond, ambassador triple diamond, and that's pretty rare air of its own in its own right. But then you get into the presidential ranks, and there's only been three that have done that, and the third is with us tonight. So please welcome Dan Doyle, I call him now Mr. President, Presidential Diamond, Dan Doyle. Dan, it's great to have you here tonight, my friend.
Thanks, Ed. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to have you. Some of the folks here don't know your story a whole lot, and we haven't really talked about what I want to have you share. But I would love to have you just kind of capsulize sort of your fairly brief history. And I think the fact that the other two people that have reached presidential diamond have been with the company almost since day one, and you came in 5-6 years into this company's history, and now you've vaulted past a whole bunch of folks. So it's just a testament to the fact that this is not a pyramid. I mean, you can start below a lot of people and reach levels way above where they are. But I'd love to have you just kind of put in context kind of where you were and what caused you to look this direction, and a little bit about your journey.
For sure, Ed, for sure. First, well done, Scott, for reaching out to Tina Marie. And Tina Marie, I always say in our presentations, this is probably one of the most precious gifts that you could ever receive in your life. And big congratulations to everybody with your achievements, so far, and especially coming towards the end of this year. And Sarah, well done, diamond, double diamond, triple diamond. I'm sure when you hit diamond, you were quite strategic in capitalizing and leveraging the promotion to get to diamond and triple. So well done on that. And before I go into my story, I just want to say, John brought up, it's not a race. It's been a long journey, and it's been a great journey. And that's something that we really need to savor. The journey is the most important thing. We're going to work our way backwards from where I am now, but right now I'm a little bit flat, so I apologize for that, because I just feel like you've seen the movie. I'm just trying to think now. Forrest Gump. That's how I feel. Remember when Forrest Gump was on that run? He got to the end of the run. He said, I'm going home now. I'm tired. I just want to sleep. It's exactly where I am right now. Yeah. But it's been amazing. So I just briefly, born and bred in Sydney, Australia, guys. Suzanne and I are traveling extensively, actually, the last 5.5 years, but more so since we left Australia permanently in May 2019. And I can tell you that I wasn't a great student at school, and with not being a great student, never doing my homework, I used to distract myself by playing many sports, and threw myself into these sports, and very successful at whatever I got involved with, because it was something that I loved doing. School, no, definitely totally the opposite, something I didn't like. So I ended up dropping out of school. And I was just speaking to my father, actually, and their 56th wedding anniversary. And I said, Dad, I remember when I was 2 years old, when you were building that house, the first house they ever built. And would you believe, just a memory of what the house looked like as it was being built. Just amazing that you can remember back so far. But also remembering at the age of about 6 or 7 that my parents had multiple jobs and didn't think that was the way to go in life. So school really didn't resonate with me. And as we know, that school doesn't teach us to be successful, to make money, and to stay out of debt. It teaches us to get into debt and to get a job and to pay off debt for the rest of our lives. So there were a lot of things that didn't seem quite right with me when I was growing up. I ended up dropping out of school, getting a job with one of the big banks in Australia. And then after a period of time, realized that I didn't want to exchange time for money anymore. And something that, you know, people normally recognize when they get involved with network marketing, but I actually went into traditional business from leaving the bank. And falling into traditional business, not realizing that I was going to become very good at building and selling traditional businesses. And I built and sold 20 traditional businesses over 20 years, employed about 3,500 people over that period of time. Never let school get in the way of a good education. I had no one to train, teach, or mentor me through being an entrepreneur back in those days. So my successes and my failures were my own fault. Thank goodness there are a lot more successes than failures. So I had a really good time with that. And fast forward to 2011. And I felt something that wasn't quite right with my body. Went to the doctors. Doctors gave me some really bad news, told me I had not one, but two major health challenges. Without going into detail, I actually got it from using that horrendous weed killer that you might have seen on TV with a lot of cases and lawsuits all over America. And my head was in a spin. To go from what I thought having full health to losing it overnight, not understanding it takes many years to lose your health, then all of a sudden thrown into 2.5 years of hospital visits and what I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, it was a pretty horrendous time. Times that I really didn't want to live anymore with what they were doing to me because of how bad I felt. And got through that period of time. At the end of the 2.5 years, I asked my doctors what was going to happen to me now. And the answer was literally to get your affairs in order. So I made a decision at that point to take the responsibility of my health back into my own hands. I did some research, and my research led to an alkaline diet. Now, it's very hard to flick the switch from coming from traditional, a GP, an MD, a doctor, to alternative functional medicine, because I didn't believe in naturopaths or anything like that. Because we were brought up, you know, when we were sick, when we were kids, our parents took us to the doctors, we took a pill, everything was fine. So that's how I grew up. That's how my mindset was. That's how I was conditioned. So moved to doing this research, went on to an alkaline diet. I also had a lot of people approach me then from the network marketing industry because I was so sick. And still not understanding or not knowing what network marketing was, but I was interested in their products. Products like Zango, their mangosteen juice, product B from Isogenics, Protandem from LifeVantage, Kangen water, all of these things I religiously bought and took for 2 years on top of being on a very clean diet. Now, I thought that my body would have been heading in the right direction, but my blood works every 3 months showed totally opposite to what I was thinking or what I was hoping to happen. And after 2 years of looking after myself, the doctors were still telling me I was in a lot of trouble. 2014 comes along. Bart Cotter reached out to me. It was October 2014, said, I think I found something that can help. Flew from Sydney, Australia to Salt Lake City, Utah, which was a funny conversation because I said to him, what do I have to do? He said, you need to come to Salt Lake City. And I said, where's Salt Lake City? He said, in Utah. I said, where's Utah? He said, in the United States. I said, I know where that is, I'm coming. So I flew to Salt Lake City, to the headquarters of ASEA, met Bart, and we went through the process of applying and getting all the information. But more importantly, I started on the product knowing that from what they were saying, it was 100% non-toxic, could have health benefits, so I didn't have anything to lose. Started on the product. 3 hours, my body was expelling things from it so fast, had red spots all over my upper torso. 12 hours, a 20-year stomach problem seemed to have disappeared. And the light bulb went on 2 to 3 days in. I had so much lung damage from what they put me through in that hospital, I had trouble breathing and talking at the same time. Lungs were functioning perfect, just in a short 2 to 3 days on the product. Went back to Australia, kept drinking the ASEA. Unfortunately, when I lost my health, we lost everything financially. So it got that bad. We were living in my parents' granny flat in their backyard. And then we had to borrow $25,000 off them, Australian, about 20,000 US, to buy a van to start traveling Australia because we only thought that I had so much time. So we literally lived in a van for 2 years. And yeah, as much as it looked great on Facebook and we were seeing a lot of great places, it was difficult because the disability pension at the time, after losing everything financially, had to pay for fuel, had to pay for food, had to pay for registration, maintenance on the vehicle and everything. And we were struggling. We almost went to the Salvation Army for food stamps. It was a really, really tough time. So I got back to Australia. I could only afford 1 bottle of ASEA per week, knowing that I needed a lot more product. And would you believe it took me 5 months, which is something that I really regret, to engage in sharing this with other people. As you know, it becomes a responsibility over a period of time, hopefully sooner rather than later. So really, even though I've been involved with ASEA for just over 7 years, didn't really engage fully or jumped in boots and all with ASEA about 5 months after I started on the product. So that would be 7 years this coming February that I actually started building the business seriously and sharing this with others. As I said, it becomes a responsibility and then quickly turns, as you know, into this purpose-filled mission. So I always say it was the business model that saved my life, because if it wasn't for the ability to share this with others, I wouldn't have received those thank you checks. Those thank you checks I invested back into my own health by buying more product, saturating my body with more molecules, getting them to more damage to signal my body to where the problem was. And over that year in 2015, the changes were just huge with my health. Blood works were improving, my look, the way I was feeling. And literally 1 year after I started on the product, the end of 2015, I went to the doctors for a usual checkup, 3 monthly checkup. And he said, your blood works are perfect. He said, as a matter of fact, I haven't seen blood work so good. So there was no sign of those 2 major health challenges whatsoever. A few months after, wasn't too long, we achieved diamond. So it was 12 months of building the business. We got to diamond level, which gave us the ability to travel and travel the world full time. I mean, people sort of look at me and people drop out of school, obviously, but I mean, I'm the kid that's never read a book in my life. And guys, you've got to read, obviously. You need to get your personal development in, but I do get it in other ways with watching YouTube and different mentors. But I dropped out of school, never read a book, and I was so geographically challenged. I used to think that California was a city in the state of Los Angeles, but I started traveling the world then. And we have been to 40, pre-COVID, we'd been to 40 countries, and I couldn't count the amount of cities. I mean, I know where everything is on the planet now, thanks to what this has done for us, our lives, not just physically, but financially. So we're in an incredible place. I mean, this achievement has been 4 years in the making now. Really 7 years of grinding it out. Go back to what John said about it's not a race. I mean, if you guys keep grinding and grinding and grinding, which is what I've done all day, every day, you're eventually going to get to where you need to go in life and achieve what you want to achieve and get to your goals and fulfill your dreams. So 4 years ago, pretty well to the day, we achieved Ambassador Triple Diamond. And I set a goal of 12 months, December 2018, to hit Presidential. 3 years later, December 2021, it happens. And, you know, a little bit of help, obviously, incredible promotion, generous promotion from the company. But I actually saw back in July, August, September, that there was a weakness in my business that's starting to strengthen. And there was an incredible team that was starting to build in Australia through Maria Hopwood, who also has achieved Triple Diamond in the last few weeks. And there was a Samoan lady by the name of Lucy that got involved, who, incredible story behind that, because Lucy I did a presentation to 4 years ago and she didn't come on board. And I did that presentation on behalf of Maria Hopwood. 2 years later, Lucy contacts Maria Hopwood and says, I want to get involved with ASEA. After another year, which was 3 years from the time I did the presentation, she was terminated because she didn't pay her annual fee. She never did anything at all. And then a few months ago, she made a decision and came back on board with the SEA and jumped in boots and all herself and dropped absolutely everything else she was doing. And she's just achieved double diamond last week and probably will hit triple next week. So for the last few months, I saw this part of my business strengthening, and I made plans a few months ago, knowing that there was going to be a promotion with the SEA. I had no idea what that promotion was going to be. But I thought I could leverage that with, I said, strengthening a big part of my business, and put a lot of things in place. We worked hard, made a decision not to sleep for the last 5 weeks, literally. And this is where I'm very tired now, guys, but I'll get some rest and I'll be back on board in no time. And yeah, we put a plan together with the whole team. We were very strategic. We pulled the trigger, we executed that plan, pulled the trigger, and we had so many rank advancements, it wasn't funny. It just blows my mind, and I know Ed can see this because Ed's my grandfather in the business, and he introduced Bart Cotter and Bart Cotter introduced me. But the business did over $5 million in sales. My business, within Ed's business, $5 million in sales, just over that promotion, which is just absolutely mind-blowing. You know, 12,000 cases that went through last week. These figures and numbers sound absolutely enormous, but just keep in mind, when I started this business, I remember my first check was $15. I remember when that first person was registered. I remember when 2 and 3 and 5 people were coming into my whole organization every single week, which was so exciting. And that's where we all start. But it's up to you where you're going to end. I'm going to have a rest and a drink of water before you.
Yeah. No, thank you. Thank you for that recap, Dan. I just, you've got kudos coming at you from all corners of the globe, but just know that the folks here on this call, typically a lot of our folks that are not part of the Australian team, we're just thrilled for you. And, I've looked at the qualification requirements to, for at least 2 or 3 ranks ahead of where we are at any given time. I know what they are to reach the presidential level, or is something that, starting out, it just looks like it's an impossibility. But, you've really proven what Zig Ziglar taught us. You help enough people get what they want. In this life, you can have anything that you want. And, I think I put in the post that Bart made. I said, John F. Kennedy said, a rising tide raises all ships in the harbor. And you're a tide raiser, Danny. You have helped raise the tide for so many people. I think Mal, we're going to have Mal on again sometime soon here, because, this is the time of the year. There, just a few short years ago, Mal couldn't afford to buy Christmas presents for his kids. And you reached out to him, and now he's a president. He's an ambassador of Triple Diamond. So you've raised the tide for a lot of folks, my friend, and that's why you are where you are.
Yeah, thanks, Ed. I mean, things evolve obviously with your business as it grows. For me now, I'm not going to put down the tools. Obviously, there's another 2 ranks, but I've got goals beyond that as well. Yeah, don't forget, what I've achieved and the team's achieved, what you guys have achieved is all a reflection of the people that we help. So, which comes back to Zig Ziglar. As time's gone on and as the business has evolved, I mean, for me, I don't concentrate on my goals whatsoever, even though I have them in place. I concentrate on my team's goals. And if I can get them to where they need to go, not where they want to go, where they need to go in life, regardless of whether, that's a rank, financial, buying their house, a car, helping their family, whatever that may be, putting kids through school. I'm totally focused on that. I'm still talking to people that haven't got their health. I haven't stopped doing that. And that surprises a lot of people in the position that I'm in, at the rank that I'm at. But it's a passion of mine. I mean, I didn't have my health. And the only way I got my health back, and it was, I regained my health, was because of this incredible, great breakthrough. So I've got to give back, and I won't stop doing that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, helping people to achieve their goals is definitely all I do these days. That's it. That's all I focus on. I've always said in this business, I'll never leave anybody behind.
Yeah. Well, and you've been around this industry long enough as I have, and Mal and Bart. You realize how unusual this is, how rare this is, and you know, when you've got something an opportunity of this caliber comes your way, I think it comes packaged with a huge amount of responsibility, of stewardship, and you know, that's what I'm challenged with every day, is to make sure that I'm taking care. It's like I've said before, I got Virtus's baby here. We've got to give this baby the chance it deserves in life. And I know you're a vision portrayer. You've seen the big picture. Maybe you can just say a couple of comments just about the bigness of this mission, the uniqueness of this, and then we'll let you go.
Yeah, you know, I talk about wanting to help the team to their goals, but it's not just my team, it's everybody. But something or somebody that's top of the list is Virtus.
Yeah.
I mean, he wants to see this company doing $1 billion in sales, and I'm working my guts out to make. I believe that this.
A little garbled there, Danny, but I know what you're saying. If you're if your signal strengthens again, we'll get you to make that final comment. You're working your guts out to help us get to that billion. I think we may have lost Danny's signal. I'm not sure, but you're back now, Danny.
I'm coming back. Okay. I was just saying, you know, the other thing I focus on is Virtus's goal and vision to get this to $1 billion company. And I also believe that one day we will be #1 in bypass Amway in sales, because we've got something so unique. I mean, we'll never see anything like this again. It's the most compelling opportunity that anybody will ever see. And I know that you guys talk to a lot of people, and sometimes you might get frustrated because you can't get through to people, but guys, just talk to the people that want to be helped. I always say we can lead somebody to a seer, but we can't make them drink. Just don't waste your time on people and prod and poke them, and you know, spend too much time. Our time's the most valuable thing we have, and so if you can recognize and remain on point with the times that you're busy and the times that you're productive, move that business, you know, going around in circles into productivity, you're going to build your business a lot faster. So just watch out. I always say, don't waste time on people that waste your time.
Yeah.
You can't get it back.
Good advice. Well, Danny, thank you for hopping on our family chat here this evening. We appreciate that. I know you know what it's like after a tough run like you've been on, but we're in awe and appreciation of you. And please pass our regards on to Suzanne. I know that she's a quiet force in your life, and she's been a big part of this journey and right alongside of you. And so please give her our congratulations as well.
Yeah, thanks, Ed. She really pushed us to get to where we are today. And to be honest with you, I may not have achieved this because of, you know, it was that, I said, backbone, her support, her encouragement, just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. I'm going to stop
Thank
the
you.
recording, and